Ever wondered why the cast of Yellowstone is as hardy as real-life cowboys? Well, it turns out that Taylor Sheridan dispatches most members to a grueling cowboy camp to live alongside real ranchers. In fact, here's how this camp made ranchers out of 1923's urbanite cast. Let's begin with the Zane Davis actor, Brian Garrity. Now, even though he equated the 2-week boot camp to torture, the Zane Davis actor was only joking. In truth, he came out of the camp more equipped than ever before. In an interview with Collider, for instance, Brian revealed that not only did he learn to ride a horse, he also picked up roping or lassoing. That's not all. He was also taught how to use an old 6-shooter and walk in chaps and spurs. Garrity's co-star, Marley Shelton, who plays Emma Dutton, went on to explain that besides horse riding, they also learned how to wrangle animals. On top of that, they did a bit of buggy driving in Montana as well. All these taxing activities aside, Marley also used her time at the camp to learn about the period that the show's set in. For those of you who still have some catching up to do, let me remind you that it explores the early 20th century's impact on the Mountain West. So basically, things like pandemics and droughts might have cropped up a lot in Shelton's research. Those, the Great Depression, and the Prohibition era as well. Anywho, and like Brian before her, the actress expressed how shaking off their city slicker ways isn't all they did at the camp. As a matter of fact, the camp helped the cast members solidify a real natural bond and get to know each other better as well. I know what you're thinking. What's so grueling about any of these activities? Well, I'll let Darren Mann answer that question for me. According to the John Dutton actor's Fox News digital interview, while the camp helped, it sadly took a toll on the actors' bodies as well. Think about it. Riding 8 hours a day isn't easy. In fact, it was so demanding that Mann could sometimes feel his groin, wishing it could walk off and quit the gig. However, seeing that everybody else was powering through the tasks, he didn't back down. On the contrary, he went ahead and bought a horse trough so that everybody could do ice baths to prepare for the next day. If you think the cowboy camp tradition is the only thing Sheridan does for a hit show, think again. He did something even more unbelievable to nab a handful of perfect shots for 1923. The man went all the way to Africa, Asia, and Europe. While nobody knows which scenes these were for, they must have been quite important if he made such long trips. And have you, by any chance, ever noticed the Dutton's chef? If yes, then you might know that they hired the real-life chef Gabriel "Gator" Gilbo to play him. From what I know, he's previously worked on the sets of Queen Sugar, American Horror Story, and The Maze Runner. Similarly, to make Season 4's environmental activist Summer Higgins' role more authentic, Taylor went the extra mile. He hired an actress with real-life experience with activism. Yes, that's right. Piper Perabo is no stranger to controversies in her personal life. If memory serves, she's not only been arrested over a Supreme Court confirmation hearing, but was also spotted at one of Jane Fonda's weekly climate change protests. Not just that, she's also a tireless advocate for voter registration and education. In other words, she was specifically cut out for this role. This mention of roles and hiring reminds me about another interesting fact. It turns out the sets for the show stay up permanently. That is to say, apart from the little bit of decorating that the crew does, the Dutton Family Lodge actually stays up all year long. Yes, all year long, even when they're not filming. And get this, thanks to this, fans can book a stay and look at Montana through the Yellowstone lens. In fact, here's another BTS secret that isn't a secret at all. The team brings in professionals to perform dangerous stunts. Like, come on, you surely weren't expecting the cowboy class to train them in rodeos, were you? So yeah, Jimmy's rodeo scenes in Season 3 were filmed using a stunt double. That and a mechanical horse. Confused? Allow me to explain. It was, as far as I've understood, a combination of Jefferson White's stunt double on a live horse and close-ups of him on a mechanical one. But of course, all thanks to the cowboy camp, the actors can do their roping, and writing stunts themselves. Oh, and did I mention that due to Sheridan's connections, Yellowstone has some recurring characters? Basically, it features many top money-winning horses. These reigning horses include everything from a metallic cat and Dunnett Chexinick to a Walla Walla Starbuck and high-class trash. From what I've gathered, Sheridan owns many of them. As for the rest, they belong to other parties. For those of you who are curious, there are very few cutting horses on the show, even though Sheridan owns several at his Texas ranches. But since a few of the reigning horses I mentioned earlier have competed in both disciplines, it doesn't matter. Now, while you might have noticed most of the previous details, there's something you likely never noticed about Isabel May, aka Elsa's makeup in 1883. Taylor told the actress not to wear any makeup, mostly to keep things authentic. In one of her interviews, the starlet revealed that the actors practically wore dirt, like a natural contour. Disgusting, right? Well, wait till you find out that Taylor asked her not to shave her underarms as well. I wish I was making this up. At the simplest, women didn't start shaving until the 1920s, and Sheridan wanted it to be an aspect of the show. That being said, the 1883 actors had a bunch of other issues to deal with. One was lack of sleep as well. Tim McGraw, who plays James Dutton, for example, once revealed that as a musician, he hadn't seen many sunrises in his life, but that all changed with 1883. The actor, believe it or not, had to be up by 3 a.m. to complete his daily workout because he had a call time of about 4 a.m. LaMonica Garrett, another cast member, had similar things to say. Come to think of it, the Thomas actor labeled it as his hardest work to date. Speaking of hard work, things aren't looking good for Yellowstone Season 5's second batch of episodes. They aren't even in production yet. But Don Oliveri has dropped another bomb by revealing that they've not even decided on a date to resume production. Oliveri, who used to play Claire in 1883 and now plays Sarah Atwood, told an interviewer that it could resume in March. Unfortunately, she's not sure if that would be for the whole production or just select units. She also went on to explain the downsides of working a job with so many moving parts. That is to say, the actors never know when it's almost time to start shooting or when the production is going to need them. But fret not. The series is definitely going to return this summer. They just need to film a couple of episodes before announcing a premiere date. Simply put, the actors will be taken by surprise, the same as audiences by the "Hey everybody, back soon" announcement. So there you have it. This was all on Sheridan's Cowboy Camp and other BTS secrets from my side. Before you click off, be sure to tell me how you're dealing with the previously mentioned delays in the comments below.